Did you know that 2 people out of 5, like 40% of all people who actually start a diet, they bail within the first week? They don't even make it 7 days. And then another 20%, y'all, they don't even make it till month number 1, leaving only 20% of all people who actually begin a diet making it to month number 3. And if that's you, congratulations. Today, we're going to talk about how do you stay motivated on your carnivore diet, especially when you're just exhausted and spent, to make it to month number 3 and all the way beyond. What do you say that we just jump into the conversation? Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Holy Carnivore. My name is Jason, aka Pastor J, if we've never ever met, and I happen to be the pastor of New Hope Lutheran Church in Comfrey, Minnesota. Yeah, sure, don't you know, where I just happen to be sitting. Now, we're not talking ministry stuff today. Well, not really, but there's a component of it that I can't ignore. And I'll be honest, you might not be able to tell right now because I sound pretty bouncy and vibrant and energetic, and I am because I'm making this video. But overall, y'all, I'm going to be brutally honest. I am exhausted on the inside. I am spent. I guarantee you in a few hours, I'll be on the couch because I'm going to be tired. And let me tell you why. Ministry is probably no harder than what you do for a job or what you do for a living. But this time of year, I'm telling you, it's a little bit more exhausting because we're in the season of Lent and next week just happens to be Easter. Can you believe it or not? Well, compounded to that, and this is no joke, I've had 3 funerals over the last 5 weeks, y'all, and I have 1 more this Friday. 4 funerals in like 6 weeks. And it's tiring, especially the one I just did. I just buried a gentleman who was 50 years old, and it was emotionally and physically taxing on everyone, including me. And that funeral was on Saturday, and I was spent on Saturday, but my week didn't end because I had church on Sunday morning, and then I had a church activity that afternoon, and it didn't end. And then came Sunday, and I found out that another member of my congregation passed away, and I'm like, oh, please, Lord, no more. That's what I was thinking, right? So, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm exhausted, and because of those exhaustions, I've made a few missteps over the last couple weeks that I'm not proud of, that had I been a little bit more on my game, if you will, I might not have made. And today I want to talk about 3 things that we could all do, maybe even you, that would probably help you stay a little bit more motivated and stay with a little bit more stick-to-itness, if you will, on your carnivore journey to not make the mistakes that I made over the last couple weeks. And well, here's number 1, meal planning. I'll be honest, I'm not the best at meal planning, and I never have been. We've always been one of those families where we kind of fly by the seat of our pants type of thing, and really a lot hasn't changed with carnivore. That is unless that is like, I want to have a roast, like if I want to make a chuck roast or a big roast beef or an arm roast, and I got this 3 to 4 pound roast in the freezer and I want to thaw that out, that's going to take a couple days. And like if I want this big, huge chicken, like a whole chicken, we make this dish called a blasted chicken. It's super nummy, y'all. You cook it at like 450 degrees in the oven, and the skin is just crispy as all get out, and the inside is just as moist as can be. Well, you got to plan for that. You're going to take a bird out of the freezer. It's going to take 3-4 days for that thing to thaw, right? So I'm going to plan for those things. But if I want a steak, I just take one out of the freezer and I throw it in the sink. We buy them and we vacuum seal them. And so we vacuum seal them individually so they thaw really fast. And if I just want some bacon and some eggs, well, that's easy. I've always got like an army supply worth of bacon on hand. And if eggs, I never run lower than a dozen. And if I do, I just pick up the phone and I call my dealer. I call my hookup. Her name is Stacy. And I say, hey, Stacy, I need some eggs. And she's, okay, how many do you need? I'm like, 2 or 3 dozen. And she puts them in the fridge over here at the church for me. She's a member of my congregation, and she's part of my staff too. And I get the eggs for like $2.50 a dozen, y'all. I mean, it's an absolute steal. Farm fresh eggs. I mean, just, came out of the hen the day before, that fresh of an egg. And it's wonderful, right? So I always have the staples on hand, and I've got a freezer full of ground beef, and it's vacuum sealed. And so if I want some ground beef, if I want a burger bowl or a hamburger or whatever have you, I take it out of the freezer and I throw it in the sink in some cold water, and in a couple hours it's thawed out, and I don't have to plan. That's just kind of the way I've been, and it's probably not the smartest way to go. What do you think? So I could be doing better at meal planning, and I think had I done better at meal planning, I might not have had a trip up a couple weeks ago. Let me talk about what had happened. So I did this funeral a couple weeks ago, and it happened to be on a Friday afternoon. Normally funerals are like in the morning, but this one happened to be in the afternoon. And so by the time all was said and done, when the service was over and the burial was done and the family was getting ready to go over for the time of fellowship and refreshment and the food and the meal and all that, and I'm expected to go to those things, and this was a huge funeral. By the time I got home, it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I hadn't eaten well for lunch, so I was really hungry. I mean, I ate, but it wasn't a great meal. And I didn't really want to eat over there because it wasn't really carnivore friendly. I nibbled a little bit, but there's only so much you can do. And so by the time I got home, we hadn't taken anything out. So we had no steak thawed out. We had no hamburger thawed out. I was not in the mood for bacon and eggs because I'd had bacon and eggs for lunch and not enough. And so I'll be honest, what happened? We ended up ordering a pizza. And did I pay for it? And not by weight. I didn't put on any weight from it, but I had 2 pieces. Yeah, I sinned on the carnivore diet, right? And oh my gosh, did I pay penance for it later on. I felt so guilty, like I had broken one of the major 10 commandments of the Bible. But you know how I really paid for it? My gut. It hurt bad. And I'm talking bad. Within a couple hours, I was in pain from 2 slices of pizza. And for the next 2 days, I paid for it. I just put it this way. It's a little bit of a TMI kind of situation, right? I paid for it bad. And then this last Sunday, just a couple days ago, I had another funeral on Saturday that went late into the day. I did better that evening because we had meal planned a little bit, but I was exhausted. Well, the next day I had church. And then after church, we had this salad luncheon later that afternoon that I could not get out of. I had to go to it. When I'm putting salad in air quotes, these weren't your typical salads if you think about it. If there had been like a leafy green salad, because I will have greens once in a blue moon, y'all, I'm not the purest of carnivores. I'm a good cannivore, right? I'm really not cheating. I've had 1 cheat meal in the last 3 months, and that's it. But this salad luncheon, there was this fluffy stuff that looked so good. So I slipped, man, and I took just a taste, and I paid for it. Oh my gosh, did I pay for it? Like 2 hours later, I was in the bathroom paying for it. And I'm like, if I had only eaten more for lunch, if only I had a better lunch, because I didn't really do a good job meal planning. I had like a leftover piece of steak and a few eggs, and it didn't tide me over enough where I would have been so satiated that I would have never looked at that stuff and gone, but I was a little bit tempted, so I took a taste. If I had meal planned, I would have done better. Do you get it? You know what I'm talking about? Let me know. Are you good at meal planning? If you're good at meal planning, let me know in the comments section below. And if you are, let me know what you do and how you do it. I could take a tip from you, but if you're like me, let's both work it better and doing some meal planning. What do you say? Let me take a pause. If you're liking this video, by the way, give it a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm will pass along to other people. But believe it or not, the more people that like a video and that comment down below, the more YouTube passes the video around. That's why I'm always saying like and comment, because I want more people to see these videos. I'm just being honest. It's a little selfish and a little bit of a fleshy thing, but anyway, there's that. Couple more. Excuse me as I take water. I found out today, by the way, why I get such a dry mouth. I went to the dentist today, and they noticed that I have a really dry mouth. And I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. What can I do about it? And he's like, drink more liquids. And here's another thing that you could do. Here's something that I need to be doing better of. And I think you're going to be surprised by this response. But another way to stay motivated, I think, is to center yourself. Taking more time out for yourself every single day for you time, if you will, or time for prayer, time for scripture, whatever have you it. You would think because I'm a pastor, I'm doing that a lot every single day. But the God's honest truth is I don't do it enough. I need to be doing it more. I need to be taking at least a half an hour, if not an hour every single day, maybe on the front end and on the back end, to just kind of center myself, to not look at the TV, to, not look at the smartphone at all, to not scroll endlessly, to maybe read a book, read my Bible, or just to sit, pray, center myself, be alone, let my brain just kind of go, whew. I think we all need to do that a little bit more, especially in the day and age in which we live, when we're so busy. There's so much information coming at us. When we live in a media-driven world, I think we just need to take more time for ourselves and for our relationship with God. If you're a believer, right? Doesn't matter what your faith is, to take more relationship time between you and your maker. And that's an important thing. It's an important step I think I've been missing on in those last month because I've been so busy that I just haven't taken enough time for God and for me. Now, yeah, I do these things, but I'll be honest, this gives me energy. It doesn't drain me. It actually gives me energy. But tonight, later on, y'all, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to want to veg on the couch for a little bit of time. I'll have to take my own advice and take at least a half an hour before I go to bed, just to let my mind go without any technology. Maybe that's something that you could do as well. Here's the last one. I'm going to take a quick slurp and we'll talk about this last one because this might be you too. I have been really bad about stepping on the scale every single day. I've been neurotic about it, I guess you could say. I don't know of any other word. Obsessed. Very, very obsessed with what is my weight today. And in the beginning, it was a lot of fun because the weight was falling off fast. But I got to be honest, y'all, over the last 2 weeks, the scale, like, nah, I ain't going to budge. Nope. You've been eating pretty good, but nah, I ain't going to budge. And y'all, I really haven't tripped up much over the last 2 weeks other than that pizza incident like 2 weeks ago this past Saturday and that little tiny taste this last Sunday. Other than that, I haven't tripped up. I've been eating a really strong carnivore, cannivore diet, keeping my carbs to like under 30 a day, some days lower and a few days a little bit higher, but around 30, which for some of you might be too much, but I'm finding for me that works. But the scale doesn't want to budge. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to fast? Do I need to just like cut my calories in half? Do I need to eat a whole lot more? Because Kelly Hogan says sometimes you're not eating enough. And I've been worried, like, am I not eating enough? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm eating enough. Maybe I'm eating too much. I don't know. And maybe I need to go on a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, a week-long fast. I don't know. And here's something I think I could do. Not look at that metric every single day. I think maybe if I weren't so obsessed with that number, I might have a little bit more motivation. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below. How obsessed are you with the number on the scale? Do you step out on it every day, or are you a once a week type of person, or a once a month, or you don't even look at all? You just know that you're getting healthier on the inside. I mean, I know I'm getting better. I know I'm getting healthier. My clothes are getting so much looser. They're feeling better. It's to the point I have to keep adjusting my suspenders. You can't tell, but I got big fat man suspenders on underneath my sweatshirt. And I have to keep tightening them because they keep getting too loose. And my pants keep getting looser and everything is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That collared shirt that I was wearing a couple of videos ago, I can like easily put like 2 fingers right here in the collar and pull it out and still have plenty of room. And it was an $80 shirt, tailor-made over in Europe. And I'm like, whew, I think I need another one, but they're expensive. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm going to hold off until I lose a little bit more weight. But I'll be honest, I've been hoping that scale would get below a certain metric number before I go to my daughter's graduation in 3 weeks. There's just something in my head that says I have to be below 300 before I go to my daughter's graduation. And I'm like 3.5, 4 pounds away, y'all. It's just not wanting to move. And I'm like, I want to throw my scale out the window. That's the way I've been feeling. So maybe I just need to not step on it every day. What are your thoughts with that? Am I being a little bit too obsessed? Be brutal, be honest, roast me, if you will. 1, 2, 3. I think those are 3 things that I could be doing better at. Maybe those are 3 things that would help you too. That's what I got for today. I'm going to end this video and I'm going to bless you on the way out. I want to get the video out so that you can be blessed by it too. Anyway, may God bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you. May God's radiant face shine down upon you, and may his favor come down out of heaven and just flood you from head to toe. And I pray that God's peace is resting right here in your heart until I get to see you again, right here again on Holy Carnivore. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. And I'll see you again soon. Until we get to see you again, Be blessed. Goodbye.